Guys, today I'm in my living room and I wanted to finally show you this black cabinet I'm always talking about. So it's right as you come in, there's our entrance. There's that black cabinet that I was talking about before with all my Mishi bags. I just keep them up there. There's my purse up there, sunglasses, and then my husband's jacket, that bag there with the flowers on it, just a gift bag with some stuff to go to the barn. And then in underneath is my purses. This I had to show you. I found this at the barn the other day. It's for a tennis ball and there's a large elastic on it, and what you do, it's weighted and you put this on the ground and you hit the tennis ball and it bounces back to you. A friend of mine, when I was growing up, her sister had one and she used to play with this thing. I was probably about 9 or 10 and she would play with this thing and she would never let any of us use it. I thought it was the coolest thing and I found it the other week at the barn. You can hear the cardinal outside chirping. Okay, so up on top of the cabinet I have like a little lantern candle thing up there with a little, it's a crow with a star, and then it's my husband's Mickey hat and our globe. My oldest daughter, when she was 3, I don't know why, that's all she wanted for Christmas that year was a globe. So she got her globe. And then I have my dream blocks and I have 2 of those big bells. I love those bells. And then on here I have a little iron bee. I think my sister gave me that a few years ago. So this cabinet was from IKEA. I got it in the as-is section. It was back in, I believe it was 2008. I was getting into scrapbooking and I had gone out to buy my Cricut, and I wanted a place to scrapbook, and I kind of bought the Cricut and this cabinet all in one day. It was a very exciting day. And so I found this in the as-is section and it was half price and it kind of matched our bedroom furniture. So I just had it in the corner of our bedroom, and that is where I first scrapbooked. If I can find the old pictures of how I set it up, I will insert those. And also in the as-is section was this chair. I didn't initially buy it because I had to get this home in the car, and then I went running back afterwards to get this chair and it was still there, and I think I got that for like $16 or something. So now the inside of the cabinet, I've switched quite a few times. There's been many things that have lived in this cabinet. Up here are all the VHS movies. Now I was thinking about getting rid of them, but you know what? It's such huge collection, and the kids still have a VCR. We have a VCR/DVD player, so as long as we can still play them, and until I get this whole collection on Blu-ray, I'm going to be keeping these. So I just love watching them and looking at the artwork and all that kind of stuff. So, and just huge Disney fan. These are my books. Some of these are books I've read, some of them I have not. This is kind of neat. I got another copy of this for my sister. It's just a shopping manual, how to put outfits together, what shapes you should be looking at for your figure. So it's the Lucky Shopping Manual by, there you go, Kim France and Andrea Linnett. So there you go. And then these, I love these. If you are a Disney fan at all, you need to read The Kingdom Keepers. Okay, I like to keep my books tidy. I loaned this to my daughter and she got it wet and mangled in her backpack. I could have cried. This is the second copy, and you can see how much neater I keep my books. There are, I think, 5 versions of this now, and the book itself, it's these kids that they go to, when they dream at night, they go through Disney, and it's really cool, and the characters come to life, and it just happens at night. This one is the second one, Disney at Dawn, and it's the Disney Castle. They're by Ridley Pearson. And then this is the third one that I'm still currently reading, and you can tell he's at Epcot, and there's a snake, and okay, and then I've showed you these, Stones for Schools, 3 Cups of Tea, The Help, Living the Good Life. My sister had loaned me that. There's my red pyramid. This I got one time at the barn. Labyrinth, I haven't read that one yet. This is my Anna Green Gables collection. I love Anna Green Gables. I've only ever read the first one. Bought this years ago at Costco. It was in a box set, and I just haven't read them. These, again, are Disney, but they're the anime, kind of manga kind of stuff. You're either into that or you're not. Some of it I find really strange, but I love that these were Disney. So these are called Kingdom Hearts. Then I have my Mary Poppins collection that my sister gave me at Christmas. I have my Judy Blume from when I was a kid, some Nancy Drew from when I was a kid, the Bobbsey twins, and this still has my name in it. Yeah, look at this. Age 10, 1980, age 8. And actually my youngest daughter read it when she was 8, so I thought that was kind of cool. And then I have my V.C. Andrews, a meditation book, Tales of Beetle the Baird, try and say it, Tanya. My tarot cards. I've got Land of the Micmacs. My parents' good friend, she wrote, and did she illustrate? I can't remember if she illustrated them or not. Some children's books. There are my other children's books. I've got City Walks with Kids for Washington, D.C. This was so cute. That was waiting in our room at the hotel when we went last year. And then I have a yoga pack. And I've got some other children's books from when I was a kid. And my parents had gone to Alaska, and they got the little cutout dolls for the girls. And then just my old, these are like old Mickey Mouse. My grade 3 teacher gave me that. I thought that was so cool. Mrs. Wagner, she gave me that book, and she gave me a drawing book. It was really cute. She did a flower book for the girls, and I think a bird book for the boys. And then, like, she even wrote in it. I thought that was so cute. Yeah. To Tanya, I have enjoyed having you as a student. Have a happy summer, Miss Wagner, 1980. Oh my God. So anyway, and she gave each kid a specific book, and mine was about drawing because she knew that I liked to draw. I thought that was so cool. Barbie and Skipper Go Camping, Picnic at the Zoo, my poetry book, Rumpelstiltskin. That was my favorite story. It came with a record, and I used to listen to it. Oh my God, favorite story. Picture Dictionary. The Happy Little Whale. Oh my God, I remember my dad reading that to me. I always thought the whale was really creepy, but I really liked the book. The monster at the end of this book, that was my favorite book. My sister gave that to me when I was 7, and I got to take it to school and read it to the class. I was very excited. Bert's Hall of Great Inventions. Mickey Mouse Disco. Hello. Walt Disney Mickey Mouse Club. Cookie Monster's Circle Book. The Mickey Mouse book, and the Gingerbread Man. I loved that too. And then Dr. Beaver Builds a House, and I have a matching puppet. It's a beaver puppet that goes with that. I got that for Christmas one year. What was I gonna say? Oh, the kids. My kids don't know Sesame Street like we did. I mean, I grew up on Sesame Street, and my youngest daughter goes, Cookie Guy? When she was little, she called him Cookie Guy. She had no idea who he was. Okay, moving on. I have, this is really cute. It's a Halifax ABC, and this was from my nephew when he was 2. Look, happy wedding, Aunt Tanya, Uncle Scott, love Evan. Now, obviously my sister wrote that. But to sign the book from him, she did his handprints and his foot. And then she wrapped it in this paper, and I kept the paper, and it was just all his scribbles. So he was my ring bearer. He was 2 years old. Oh my God, it was so adorable. He actually walked up the aisle. Oh my God. And he carried a bear because we brought out a lacy pillow, and my father was like, excuse me? My grandson is not carrying a lacy pillow. It's a little girly. So he held a bear. It was so cute. And the bear had a matching vest that my mom made to match his jacket. Anyway, okay, Fredericton. We used to live in Fredericton. Pottery Barn kids' rooms. The Stinky Cheese Man, teddy bears. My sister gave that to me years ago, and she wrote a really nice thing. This was Christmas 1985, and she just wrote a thing about me. It was really sweet. Trini and Susanna's What You Wear Can Change Your Life. Again, it's just how to dress for your body. The Iron Wolf. This was my husband's book as a kid. I'm sure it scared the hell out of him because he hates wolves. Casual Vacancy. Simple Abundance. Driven. This is by Robert Herjavec. I hope I said that right. He's the guy from Dragon's Den. If you watch any Canadian TV, How to Succeed in Business and in Life. Dragon's Den was the beginning of that kind of show. Now in the States they call it Shark Tank, and you've seen him on Shark Tank. So it's about how he got started and stuff. My dad actually bought that for my husband, and I started reading it, and it's very interesting. The Night Circus, I'm still hanging on to that thing. The Zoo, my daughter had bought that and just couldn't get into it. Myst, that's that video game. I found this at the barn. It's how to play the game because I'm so stuck in that game before I go to sleep. This is for Flash, computer program. These were at the kids' school fair. It's Bone. It's like a little cartoon series. And they had books 1 to 8, so I thought, why not? Hidden Mickeys. If you go to Disney, there are hidden Mickey symbols all through the parks. It's really cool. You can get right into it. Every park. What happens is the Imagineers, when they're making the rides and things, they will hide a symbol of a Mickey, and it could be hidden in anything. Tea with Tracy. That was a book written by a Canadian woman that had moved here to Bermuda. If you move to Bermuda, you have to read this book. It's about the craziness of this island, and I had never realized it when I bought this, but it has a cardinal on it. Thank you very much. And note, there's no Kiskadee, or is that a Kiskadee? No, it's not a Kiskadee. Yeah, cardinal. Like, what are the chances of that? Okay, hang on. Book, go in. My Nikon D80 book. I should probably read this. It would explain my camera to me, but I have not done that yet. And then the book that actually came with it. 101 Things You Never Knew About Walt Disney World. A friend of mine, a friend of hers, had written it, Kevin Yee, and it's a neat book. And then Good Grief. It's about a woman that loses her husband. This is my Playmobil collector book because I collect Playmobil. These are all my Harry Potter books. And then I have a book about Washington, D.C., and I had bought these a photographic keepsake of Disney because I thought doing scrapbooks and stuff, I might be able to use some of the photos from there. Then down here, I still have a phone. Just one sec. Okay, that's my husband. All right, so I have Anne of Green Gables, one of the sweetest movies ever. I got that secondhand. It's VHS, but what can you do? And then, what's this? Oh, Barbie game, our hard drive, an old piggy bank, a lamp, scanner that we probably don't need anymore. This is a binder of my husband's. This here, now, okay, I want to show you this. See if I can bring it over here. No, where can I go? I'll just put it here on the couch. Okay, this is interesting. Back in 1997, my husband was in a plane crash. He was going from Toronto to Halifax, and this was the plane. He was on the flight. He was due to leave Toronto and arrive into Fredericton around midnight, and they hit some heavy fog. And it's saying here, the wing hit the runway during the attempt to pull away. So the pilot was trying to bring the plane down, and they overshot the runway and then tried to correct, and he turned and hit the wing and then tried to flip back, and then they banged and crashed and then eventually landed here in the snow, in the trees. My husband, before the flight took off, saw that this emergency exit row was empty, and he asked if he could sit over there, and the lady said, okay, but are you going to be willing to remove the door and do all that in case of a crash? And of course you always say sure. You just never think it's going to happen. And so that's where my husband was sitting. So when they finally landed, he threw the door off and threw it down in the woods or wherever it landed, and then he got out on the wing and he slipped and he fell off the wing because of course everything was cold and icy. This has all been plowed out because the crews and everything had to get in there. But he got off the plane, and then of course my husband, realizing, oh geez, I'm going to be cold because it's December 16th, crawled back on the plane, and the pilot was crawling around on his hands and knees. People were screaming and crying, and some people were still in their seats, and nobody knew what the heck was going on. It was dark. The power had gone out, obviously. And he saw my husband, and he said, "Are you hurt?" And my husband said, "I'm okay." And he said, "Then get off of this plane because it could blow." This was a picture in the paper. There was cobwebs because nobody was in the tower that night, because what happens is they forward the radar to another airport that's about, well, it's like 2-hour drive away. So no one was actually in the control tower that night. So that was a problem. And there's part of the wing that's been broken. I'll show you the inside of the plane. This was the reporter's shot from the inside of the plane. So that tree had come in the plane. The gentleman that had been sitting in that seat lost his leg, but everyone on the plane survived. There was even a small baby. I think it was just a few weeks old, and the wife was coming back. And when the plane landed, no one in the airport knew it landed. They heard the plane go overhead, but they just assumed it was going on to another airport because they knew there was such thick fog. So someone ran out of the plane and ran in. The snow was waist deep. My husband, or up to his thighs, actually. It was up to his thighs. So some guy ran ahead of everybody. I'm sure it was shock that was driving him, and he got into the airport and he was screaming that the plane crashed. And the poor husband that was waiting for that wife, apparently he collapsed. Here's another shot. So my husband was very, very lucky. Everyone on that plane was very lucky. He called me that night at midnight. I was in Halifax because my sister was pregnant with my niece, and they were in the process of moving. And I was at my sister's, so my husband called me, and as soon as he said my name, I knew something was wrong. These are some of the crew. Passengers had to save themselves because nobody knew, and they had to plow to get out there because they were out in the woods, so they had none of the crew could get out there. So yeah, that was a crazy Christmas that we had. So that was on December 16th of 97. The tire, there was the plane, the tire had broke off. My husband said he actually had sat down on the tire. They were just all in shock. So, and then they had to inspect the airport, and then this was a whole controversy because they painted over the Air Canada logo. I had kept the astrological forecast for that night, and my husband is Aquarius, and you'll be told, come down to earth. Family members finally see the light. You're going places, could achieve fame, fortune, suddenly feel I must get closer to home. So I thought that was pretty freaky. And yeah. All right, so there you go. That is a sad attempt at a first scrapbook. But anyway, so very lucky. Some people don't get that lucky. All right, and then down in here we have a printer that's out of ink. Our printers are always out of ink. And a laptop sitting there. That's my daughter's book. She must be taking notes or something. My husband was into flight simulator game, and that was his joystick for that. I just have some paper. And then in the drawer, I tried to tidy this at one point. Just some pencils, pens, pins, paper clips, scissors, some keys and stuff, clips. These are magnets because in this door I had put these little magnetic strips, so when I was scrapbooking I used to just kind of pin stuff up there, and I just left those on there. So there's the magnets. My kids were into Webkins, so those are all the Webkins things that they had. Just some extra plugs for USB things, and my really old phone, just some cables that I tried to corral with some elastics. So that is the black cabinet. There you go. Blurry camera. Okay, there we go. Thanks for watching. See ya.